most important things that you can do in your educational career is before you start an assignment, look at the score sheet, right? Because you might do a great job defining a literacy narrative, but if you watch my last video, you realize I don't care if you muddle literacy narrative with memoir with reflection. That's not really the point here. The point here is different. And unless you know how you're being graded, how you're being scored, you can't really focus your energies in the right spots because there's thousands of different items and places to focus your energy in writing. This is why writing feels overwhelming. It's a phenomena that's very strange. A lot of times when you put more restrictions on writing, you actually do better. Boundaries create awesomeness. And this is because if you're able to do anything, how can you do anything at all? So let's look at the score sheet here. I mentioned before, this is only 5 points, this first paper. So what am I looking for? Well, each of these categories amounts to 1 point. I want a well told story. So something that was meaningful, right? You wouldn't talk about your walk down the street where you saw a bird and it meant nothing to you. It was just a happy incident. And well, maybe that could turn out cool. Anyway, it has to feel like it means something and it was significant to you. And then I'm looking for evidence the rhetorical situation was considered. So the reasons you are writing is clear. Like, what was the broader life lesson? Literally tell me that. Um, Write this for a novice audience. Assume we do not know anything about your topic. If you're a computer programmer and you want to talk about CSC or I mean, that's not the right thing, CSI, I don't know what it's called. If you want to talk about computer language, I'm not going to know what that means. I don't know. So explain it for a novel audience. We want to know your stance is clear on the situation. So are you trying to be funny? Are you trying to be serious? Make sure that's clear for your reader too. So another point is organization. This is really cool. I love it how stories clearly have a narrative where it like starts at the end and then it's like a flashback and then it goes back to the beginning. You can start in the middle or you can start in the beginning and go chronologically, but it should be clear to your reader that you're not jumping around too much and making our head spin. That would be like, whoa, what's happening? Remember to incorporate one CSC section in this paper and bold it and bold it. And finally, try to edit in MLA editing style. Since this is a creative project, MLA is the one that we use. Some of you are geography majors, yay! And you mentioned that you're going to be using APA a lot in the later part of the course. That's totally cool, and I'm totally down with that. It's good to know the differences, the slight differences between the two, but I don't expect you to in 101. If you try anything at all ever in the citation realm, either in text or full text, even if you don't know about that yet, you're going to be fine. Like as long as you attempt stuff in 101, full points. The not attempting stuff is where you can get dicey in my class. But for this first paper, if you don't want to do anything in text or full text citation, I'm cool with that. I do expect proper grammar and assignment formatting, which you learned in your lab one, MLA, in MLA. That was your total lab one. So that's the score sheet for this first paper one paper. Really simple, and now you know how you're being graded. Definitely put your energies towards getting full points instead of focusing on stuff that you aren't going to be graded on. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quick is this idea of summary and paraphrase. So I went over this really briefly in the welcome videos. A summary is just one sentence, two max of the main point of an author. The main point of this video seemed to be the score sheet for me to say focus on the score sheet. That was my main argument in this video so far. And so that would be the summary. A paraphrase is a little bit deeper than that. It's the main point and the subpoints. So for this video, I said focus on what you're being scored on, not the things that don't matter. And then some of my subpoints were that if you don't have any boundaries at all, you tend to flounder. Another one of my, and maybe I could back that up with evidence if I wanted to go deeper. One thing that showed students without boundaries, maybe a study, got poorer grades. And then I also said things like, when I don't require you to do full text citations or in-text citations on this first paper. So paraphrase is your main point and a few subpoints. And if you want, not necessary, some evidence. Now, you're not required to do paraphrases formally for paper one, but check it out. You are accidentally going to do them whenever you talk about another person's ideas or beliefs. They accidentally appear. So I just want you to get kind of used to this idea of summary and paraphrase, and this description of it will also help you with lab 2. So I look forward to seeing you all again soon on next week's videos, and let me know if you have any questions. Reach out. That's really important. Okay, I'll see you soon.